Hello and welcome. We are
the Sisters of the Holy Fiber. This is episode 54. It is currently September 15th, 2017. My name is Devon. I'm also known as Rambunctiousky.
And I'm Heather, also known as TinyKiwi. So grab whatever you're working on and join us while we craft and chat.
And welcome back. Sorry, what?
I was going to say, and in my case, work on my lab notebook.
Yes. Welcome back. You are used to us talking over each other by now. And,
yes.
And hello to all new viewers. Nice
You'll get used to us talking over each other.
You will. You will. It is the sister way.
Yeah, it really is.
So, I have lots of things to share. You are doing science, and so you said you have less things to share. Shall I go?
Go for it, yeah. I want to see all the things you've made. I know you got a lot of FOs.
I know. So, my wife was out of town, which was sad because she was out of town and I missed her, but it also meant that I could just knit all the time. So,
yeah.
I had great fun making all the things.
Cool.
So, the first thing I made is a cable braided necklace. So it's really dark. It's a very dark purple.
Hold it in front of your face.
No, here. My wife.
Oh, there you go. That's creepy.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
And I used a little shell button.
Oh, cute.
I remembered these from Mom's stash of buttons from when we were very young. She always had a button box, and these rattled around her button box for my entire childhood,
yes.
until I was an adult. And I was like, can I have those buttons that were rattling around in your button box for my entire childhood? So, so it's a necklace, and it knit up in like 2.5 hours. Oh. It's called a cable braided necklace. You don't cable. I don't know why it's called cabled. It looks like a cable when you're done, but it's actually 2 pieces of flat knitting that have holes in them that you weave through each other, and then it makes the little braid. So I'm super happy with it. It took not that long to make, and I really like it. So
it's super cute.
Yeah, I made it out of snow-capped yarns. They're a hand dyer. This yarn was sent to me in a swap, and I don't really know that much about the dyer, so it doesn't have a colorway. I don't know, but
that's fine.
I made
I said it's close.
Yeah, I got close.
Yeah.
I made my favorite pair of socks that I was talking about last week. In this yarn. This is the yarn I used, and so this was leftover yarn from that project. So I'm happy it's all done. Ta-da.
Yay!
Yay! I wanted something quick and fast. And
did it actually take as much time as it said it would?
The pattern said it would take about 1.5 hours. It took me more like 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So It did really only take that much time, but I was like, that was the only thing I was doing. I wasn't doing anything else,
right?
And I did I tried casting on at 11 o'clock at night, which is never a good idea. And so in the
friends don't let friends cast on late at night.
So in the morning I ripped it out. Of course, I don't even remember what was wrong. Something was wrong with it. I don't remember what was wrong with it. And then I cast on. Oh, I remember what I did. Nothing was technically wrong with it. I was following the pattern. But I then looked in Ravelry and I searched for the project pages. And I used the advanced search to sort the projects by most helpful. So the project at the top that the most people had marked as helpful, and I looked at the notes, and I liked the modifications that person had used. So so I ripped out and did those modifications.
Nice.
So the original pattern is 2 separate strips that you weave together and you sew the ends shut. And so the modification was to have a few, some less rows at the beginning, and also it's a free pattern. So, and also instead of making 2 separate strips, you make 1 strip, and then the second strip you pick up stitches along the edge of the first strip, and then at the second one, then you braid it, and then you use a 3 needle bind off at the end. So you have kind of less bulk at the beginning and the end. So yeah, it worked out great. I want to make 5 million. And
excellent. Teacher accessories.
Yeah. I really like having a knitted necklace. It's like super fun. And so I want to make more that are longer. I want some to have like little joojads and things that are hanging off of it. I don't know. So will I ever actually do it? I don't know, but it sounds like fun.
I know, right? That works.
Yeah.
Show me socks.
Okay,
Show me
so
socks.
yes, my other finished object are my socks. They are all done.
Yay!
Ta-da! Yay, here's the other one. Here they are in the same screen.
Sure she finished a pair.
Right? I was like, wait a minute, I better show both of them in the same shot. I am really happy that they're done.
Yes.
I am still not in love with them, but I think that one of my good friends will adore them. I think she will really like the color, and I've never given her... Actually, that's not true. I knit her... This is my friend that I've had since I was 13, and I knit her a knee-high pair of socks. One of my first pairs of socks, I knit her knee-high pair of socks, and then she lost one.
Oh, no.
So for a while, she had one knee-high sock. Poor thing. Anyway, she is very knit-worthy, and I knit for her. I've knit, I think last year I knit her and her family hats, and so so this is nice because I haven't knit her something in a while. I've been knitting like if I knit something, I knit like a hat for her and her husband and the 2 kids, you know, but her birthday's in November, and it'll be nice to give something to just her. You know, it's your birthday, you're special too, even though you're, you know, because I think moms sometimes, you know, the kids, everybody gets things for the kids. So anyway, I think it's all going to work out. I'm really happy they're off the needles. So now I can cast on another pair of socks.
They look cute.
Yeah, they fit nice, I guess, on my feet. So I'm hoping that they will fit her feet. We're pretty similar in size. So I'm hoping that they will fit her well. They don't really show up very well in the...
They showed up a little bit better this time. This is Zauberball, right? Do you remember the...
I didn't say. This is the Zauberball yarn. I don't remember the colorway name. Sorry, I'm no help. But...
A for effort.
A! And I knit these on my US1 Karbonz needles. I will look at my note. Karbonz. Karbonz. I love those needles. I really like them. Yeah. But I'm going back to my wooden ones for my next pair of socks, so I can compare.
Good idea.
My next thing I wanted to show you is a half of a finished object, which I will actually probably rip out.
Okay.
I made a booty. So this is a pattern by Simone A. I don't know, I found it on Ravelry. Somebody else had made it, and I was like, I'll make those too. You know, it's a really simple booty pattern. And she says in the pattern, you know, like, she made this up, kind of. But, you know, like, so many people have made this kind of booty before that it's really, like, not, you can't really claim it as yours, you know? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the pattern. I love the pattern. It's called Simple House Slippers. So the pattern is really super cute. When I was wearing this one booty yesterday, it was not warm at all. And it's not even winter yet. And I'm like, if I'm wearing a booty, I want it to be warm. And like my foot didn't even get remotely warmish.
Oh, okay.
In it.
What is the yarn?
Yes, so this is actually yarn I found at the thrift store that I've had in my stash for at least 7 years. It's called Wildfoot sock yarn. I really like the color. It's a really pretty purple. I made this booty by holding the sock yarn double and knitting on US size 4 needles. Not 4. Was it 4s?
I seem a little big, but
No, it is at least 4 because when you hold it double.
Right.
No, I think it might be 7s even. Like, yeah, no, it's 7s. It was US size 7s. Yep.
Okay.
I just decided I think I would like this better if it was an actual sock, like an actual ankle sock.
Right.
I only have like the ball of yarn is like not. It's like a 50-gram ball. I want to say I just know it's not enough to make a regular pair of socks, which is why it's been in my stash for a long time because I've been waiting to pair it with another yarn to make a pair of socks or but I think I would just like it if it was an ankle pair. So I will probably rip this out at some point and make an ankle pair. But I'm not making the other booty.
Right.
So the other thing that I can't believe that I've knit this much on, but it just goes to show you how much I have A, been enjoying it, and B, been by myself lately. Oh, wait, before I get into that, I did want to say the socks. I knit part of the socks at the movies.
Oh.
So I was super excited about that. I didn't knit during the actual movie, mostly. I knit, like, during the previews and then, like, at the commercials, you know, commercials, and then they dim the lights a little bit, and then it's the previews, and I knit during the previews because the lights are still on, and then the lights went really down for the movie, and I kind of knit like just a little bit, but I didn't drop any stitches, so I think I knit like 5 or 6 rounds on each of the socks.
Cool.
So it's 2 at a time on 2 circular needles in the dark. Yay! So I felt like a real knitter.
Keep your knitter's credentials this time.
Yeah. So I was really happy that I could do that because I want to start going to more movies. There have been a lot of movies that have come out that I have not gone to and I wished I had seen. So I want to just get in the habit of going more. Because I'm watching a lot less Netflix, and I like to have things in common with other people, like pop culture references that we can talk about. And going to the movies, because for me and Netflix, okay, I'm tangenting, here I go. For me and Netflix, like, I can't stop. I will watch, like, 8 hours, right, I just binge watch. But with a movie, it ends. And you get to leave now. Like, it's 2 hours of movie and then you leave. So I'm going to see, I don't know how that's going to go. But I want to go to more movies. And I think my cat wants in. He's right there.
Yeah.
Meowing. He wants to come in and he's probably going to keep meowing because we're talking. But he's just going to have to wait. Oh, okay. I'll go get him. Yeah. So here's my kitty witty.
Oh,
boy.
My poor god cat looks so ridiculous.
And his little Birds Be Safe collar that I made. I love it so much. He hasn't caught any birds since he's had it on. He's caught plenty of lizards with it on.
Well, lizards are another story.
Yes, they are entirely. So he's probably going to start meowing and, oh well.
Yeah,
he
like having a
so starving he has crunchies still from breakfast. They're not acceptable.
No.
So my other whip that I had, I guess I started a row and got 2 stitches in. There we go. Let's just take those off.
Whoops.
Whoopsie daisies. Okay, I have 4-ish balls of Brooklyn Tweed Shelter left over from the blanket that I made for my cousin. So I went on to Ravelry, and I love this yarn. And so I went on to Ravelry, and I searched for projects that had used shelter that were within the yardage range that I have.
Oh, right.
To see, like, what have other people made with 500 yards of shelter yarn. And somebody had made a shortened version of a shawl called the Farmhouse. And it's by, I think this is the user's name on Ravelry, Cabin 4. So that's who the pattern is by. And somebody had made a smaller version. So the actual shawl uses more yardage, but it's a triangular shawl. It's pretty simple, some stockinette with some garter ridges, but it has fringe. And I know I could add fringe to any pattern, but this was already in the pattern, and I really like fringe. So I am really excited. So here is what I have.
Oh, nice.
So let's see if I can see here. Yeah. So there's the little garter ridges. In the original pattern, there's another row of stockinette right here. But because I have less yardage, I made this a little bit shorter.
Right.
Because I'm going to have a smaller shawl. So this, I had one ball of this color. Oh, and I don't know the colorways. Oh, well.
That's okay.
This one, I love this yarn. I want everything out of this yarn. I just love it. It's so woolly and natural colored, and it's like got this heathered color, you know, like whites and grays, and oh, I just love it. And then, so I used up all of that, and now I'm on the blue.
Yeah.
Using up the blue. So I will use up the blue, and then I have one ball of this white, I have one ball of the blue, and I have 2 balls of purple. So of a light purple. So I'll probably do the final section will be purple, and then the fringe will probably be purple, but I'll probably have a little bit of, you know, leftover white and blue. So the fringe might have like a thread here or there of the white and blue. I don't know. I'm going to see how it looks, and because that might look dumb. I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe on the outside edge, you could do like a repeat, like, you know, make the first set of fringe gray, and then the second one, the dark blue, and then the purple, the rest purple. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. I'm going to play around with ideas like that. So,
yeah, you'd have to mock it up to make sure it doesn't look ridiculous, but
yes. Yeah, because these kinds of like the fringe ideas and things like that, sometimes they look great in my head, and then I make them in real life, and you're like, nope. Full cannon, nope. But I can't wait to have this. It's gonna be like ooky and squishy and like just perfect for cuddling in.
Yeah, it should be nice.
It does make me. Sorry, what?
It's 100% wool?
Yeah.
I remember. Okay.
And it makes me want to buy more of it and make 5 sweaters. So. I love this yarn. Yeah. But I'm really happy that I found a pattern that I can use up my leftovers. And so, because if I wanted to make a sweater, I'd have to buy more yarn of the same color with the same dye lot and all that stuff. And like this way, I can just
start fresh. Yeah.
Yes. And I love striped things. I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
And I'm so far in it because I love knitting on it. It just like one more row, just one more row,
right?
Just one more row.
That's the knitting that's enjoyable to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just really want the finished project, but the actual construction is not exciting.
Yes. And this project, the knitting is not extraordinarily exciting. But it's what I need right now. Like after a long day at work, like I can come home and purl a row across. You know, I can do that. I don't think I could do advanced color work right now, as much as I want to.
Right. Yeah. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Yes. So those are all of my whips. I know you said you've been doing science. Do you have any whips, or do you have science whips?
I have science whips.
Okay. We can talk about your science whips after.
So if you want to learn all about functional groups, I can help you out. But no, what I was going to actually run by you was my friend has a birthday coming up, but I was thinking about making her sort of a belated birthday present for. She's making a Newt Scamander Halloween outfit, so it would have to be done essentially by Halloween.
Yeah.
If I choose to do it, I usually don't do presents because I'm broke, so people just get birthday wishes. But it's a simple. She showed me a picture because we were in the yarn aisle because we've been just like walking for exercise around like the shopping malls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got in the most number of steps since I got my phone like the other day. It was like, congratulations, new record. I'm like, no wonder my legs are tired. But it's just a simple stockinette. But it's, hello, Mr. Bird. It's like a gold tweed and then like a gray tweed.
Uh-huh.
It kind of, go ahead.
What are you making?
A scarf.
Oh, okay. I don't think you said that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Newt Scamander scarf.
Got it.
To go with her outfit.
Got it.
Because essentially she doesn't have time right now. She's planning for a wedding. Yeah. So she's like, I really want to try, but no time.
Right.
So I thought this would be a nice surprise present.
Right.
And then if I don't actually get around to it, it's not a big deal because I haven't promised anything.
Right.
But again, it's just straight knitting, so.
Yeah. How big is the yarn?
Like a worsted.
And garter stitch, seed stitch, moss stitch, rib stitch?
Just straight knit and purl, just so that you end up with the stockinette. So
if you do that, it will curl massively. If you want that's fine. But just know that.
Just based on the picture, it already kind of looks like a tube.
I
was thinking about just knitting it in the round.
Yes. So that is one way to get around it, is that you knit a tube.
Right.
So it's essentially knitting an entire cylinder, and that is one way to get the stockinette look on the outside. The other way to do that, if you do, now a lot of people hate ribs, so if you hate rib, this is okay. But if you knit a 1x1 rib, it will cinch in, and it will also look the same. Because rib cinches in. So if you knit it, because scarves are so long, and when you knit that ribbing for so long, it just, the whole thing will pull in.
Okay.
So it depends on what you like. And some people, so because I know your time is limited too, some people knit rib, it takes longer to make. So if you're not a fast ribber, then that might be something you might not want to do. But I've knit scarves in a 1x1 rib before that they just whoop, pinch in, and so it looks like straight stockinette, but then you're like, it pulls apart.
Right.
Yeah. So, are you looking at a picture from the movie?
It was something she showed me, so I'm assuming it was, and either that or it was a promo, like a still,
Okay. But if you can send that to me in some way, I can tell you more about the scarf.
Okay.
If you want it to look exactly like that one.
I just wanted to find some tweeds that look relatively close enough, you know?
Okay.
Something, just something that when she's wearing it, it looks, appropriate.
Yeah. The fastest thing would be something that was in like a seed or a moss stitch or something like that, because it would be fewer stitches. Just to keep that in mind. Because rib, you'll need double the amount of stitches. So if you want it, if you want it this wide, you have to cast on this wide,
Right.
Or, and then the same thing with circular knitting. You'll have to cast on double plus a couple of extra edge stitches,
Right.
So then you're essentially making like 2 scarves.
2 scarves, yeah.
And scarves, you know me, I don't make scarves.
Yeah.
Not anymore. I make shawls.
There you go. Smart call.
But anyway, I think that sounds like fun. And I think even if you are not successful, you should try, because you won't know if you have the time unless you give it a shot. Maybe not buy like all the yarn. Maybe buy just a little bit and see if you get going. And if you start chugging along and then suddenly you need more yarn, then you can buy more yarn. I don't know.
Especially since it's in like stripy chunks, it won't the colorway won't matter as bad.
Yep. You won't be able to tell. Unless it's like really horrendously different, but
no.
So, do you remember what yarn it is that you're thinking about using?
Oh no, I was just literally, we were looking in the store and she was kind of just sort of thinking about it and then decided, I don't have time for this. What am I thinking? So.
But I think that's a lovely idea,
Yeah.
For you to think about.
Yeah, and it's something easily portable too, so I could work on it on the go.
Yeah, that's what's also nice about this shawl, and especially where it is now, is that it's easy to take places. It's like I'm just knitting, I don't really, every once in a while I have to do a yarn over, but not very often.
Right.
So.
Yep. So that's all I've been working on is thoughts.
Okay. Well, I can relate sometimes,
Yeah.
That's all we have time for.
Yep.
And that's okay. So I had a birthday.
Oh, yeah.
That happened. So I have some things to share because of the birthday.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So I sent my mom a list of Etsy stores. Like, here, buy anything from any of these and I will be happy.
Right.
I'm always happy anyway with whatever she gets me, but she always asks, like, what do you want for your birthday?
Right.
So I was preemptive this year.
Good call.
Any of these things.
Yeah.
So she bought me a spindle.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Oh, pretty.
Yes. I am in love with it. I clearly have not used it yet. I'm trying to show the back side. That's not working. Zebra wool and cherry. And I'm really sorry I can't remember the store name, but I will put it in the show notes. The person who makes these, I'm pretty sure it is a guy, but he put it in this very nice bag. So it came all wrapped up, and I was very good and took it out before the podcast, so there's no crinkly noises. But there's no card from the shop, like saying the name of the shop or anything like that in the box. So I don't remember, and I'll just look it up and put it in the show notes if you're curious. I'm really happy with it. It's really beautiful and smooth, and I'm looking forward to spinning with it.
Do you have any roving you could throw on it?
I have, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Not a problem, clearly, from the look on your face.
Not a problem. How did this happen?
I warned you. Mama always said, don't become a spinner and a knitter. Mm-hmm.
Mama never said that.
Mama never said Mama Kiwi did.
Several weeks ago, I purchased yarn for my birthday. Kiwi.
His collar is cracking me up. I'm sorry.
Well, you can find him. He doesn't mind. God. He doesn't mind. He doesn't know, okay? So,
he's special. How does he clean his chest? Oh.
We usually take it off.
Yeah.
When he comes inside, we take it off. So, so about 3 to 4 weeks ago, I purchased some yarn. 2 of these will be used to make something for you, and 1 will be going to my stash, but I'm not going to tell you which 2. Or what I'm going to make. But I will show you the yarn.
Okay. Oh.
Green, black, and this gray, it's like got green speckles in it.
Nice. Pretty.
Very Slytherin from my Slytherin sister. So this one is called You Have Your Mother's Eyes. This is all yarn by Once Upon a Corgi. And this is on her Marie Cutie base, which is 75% Corriedale and 25% nylon. And there's her tag. And this one is called Nightmares Plus 10. And it's very black. But it does have some, just a hint of light spots, you know, here and there. So it's not quite solid.
Yeah, I like it.
But it's really pretty. And this one is called That's No Moon. And this one is on her penny base, which is 80 merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon.
Cool.
And I just, it's so pretty. Oh, look at that. Look at the sparkles.
So speckly. Oh, yeah, it looks kind of like moss. No wonder you like it.
I know, right?
Yes.
Yes. So that was my birthday yarn purchase.
Cool.
Yay.
Yay.
Then near me is a town called Ojai. And Ojai has a crafting store called Caddywhompus. And it is a fantastic store. I don't think I have been to a better craft store. And I've been to a lot, so that's saying something. It's a nice layout. It's a nice space. It's very airy and bright. The person who was at the register greeted me when I came in and then let me shop and let me alone so I could do, you know, so I could just think about crafty
what
things,
you want,
you know,
right?
And just let me look at literally everything, because that's what I did. I went around the entire, like, this table, and then this table, and then this table. Like, so they have a couple of tables set up by color, so they have some books and yarn and project bags and like
cool.
and gifts and like an interesting kind of layout like that. And then they have and they also had like some kids things like picture books, like I said, and they have some fabric, not a enormous selection of fabric, but enough to make it enjoyable to look at the fabrics.
Right.
And a wall of yarn, so they do have quite a lot of yarn. She did say that they are going to start carrying Quince & Company yarn, which is, to me, I've never actually seen Quince & Company yarn, but I've heard good things about it. It's another American-made yarn like Brooklyn Tweed Shelter is. I've heard really good things about it, and so I'm really excited that they're going to start carrying it, because that means I'll actually get to hold it in my hot little hands and squish it.
Yay! Yarn fondlers.
They also have some embroidery supplies and some weaving supplies. They have classes. When I went up to the counter, because I was buying some fabric, she was very helpful and very friendly, and I just really liked the store. A+, Caddywhompus, and Ojai. You should go. If you're in California on vacation, you should go to Ojai, because it's a great place to go to vacation. But,
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored at all.
But we could be if you give us a $5 discount, caddywhompus.
I would talk, clearly I'm talking about it anyway. So I was clearly like, I had already bought enough yarn lately. I was like, I don't need to buy more yarn right now. So I went looking for a sewing pattern. I've been listening and watching to a podcast that I really like that I'll talk about a little bit later when we talk about podcasts. And she's a seamstress, and she makes beautiful clothing, and it's really inspiring to watch the dresses that she makes. And, when she's like, I'm wearing entirely things I made myself today. And I'm like, I want that. That. That sounds fun. And I can, I could see that as a possibility.
Right.
If you make a few things here and there, it's something that is achievable. Yeah. For some reason in the last year or so, I have decided dresses are fun. I didn't wear a dress for like 15 years. And then I saw one in the thrift store and I was like, I'm going to wear one of those. And then I haven't stopped. So I bought this dress pattern. It's called Pharaoh. It's for a beginner, an advanced beginner.
From Mia Farrow, I'm guessing.
I don't know. Who is that? You know me.
Oh, don't worry about it then. Look it up and you'll figure it out.
So this is pattern from the Grain Line Studio. It's called the Pharaoh Dress. It has an A-line shape. But one of the reasons I really like it is that there's actually 4 pieces to the front. And right here, through an interesting construction process, there are pockets. And everybody loves a dress with pockets.
Yes.
So I bought the pattern, and then I also bought fabric.
Yay! Oh, that's pretty.
Yes, little birdies. Coral color flowers, black background.
There's a type of traditional paper cutting that looks like that.
Yeah, I really liked this fabric. So I really liked like 5. And so I spent, I'm not kidding, at least half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, like wandering the like 2 shelves of fabric.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pulling them out, checking the drape. There were a couple of fabrics with really interesting patterns that I liked, but they were the wrong kind of fabric. They were like canvas fabrics for like embroidery. Upholstery. Yeah, or upholstery. Or for embroidery. I don't know what they had them for, or like you said, maybe they were upholstery fabrics. I don't know what they were for. But they were Japanese designers, and they were just, they were so cool. It's like, I want to dress out of this, but I don't want to feel like I'm wearing burlap, so.
Right. I don't need to be dressed in sackcloth.
Yeah. So, clearly I have not cut anything out yet, but I did wash the fabric, so that's where I am. I washed the fabric, and I need to measure the pattern and myself and decide which size I want to use. I also... If this dress is not successful, like, I'm okay with that. Like, I just want to try. I'm just going to try and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And I also know, my sewing machine, I need a better sewing machine. But I want to make sure that I actually am going to be sewing before I invest in a machine. So if I make the dress and I have a good time and I like it, then maybe I'll think about saving up for a better machine.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. This has been a lot of me talking. I'm sorry.
I have nothing to talk about.
So
if you want to learn about recrystallization of benzoic acid. Sorry. That's where I'm at.
So, yeah, that's all of my crafting things. I'm really looking forward to sewing. We'll see what I can manage to get done this weekend. I'm hoping that I will be able to at least like cut out the fabric pieces for this weekend. That if I have at least the pieces cut out by next time, I'd be happy with that. Oh, I have something I wanted to ask you.
Yes, go for it.
I bought the pattern. I bought the fabric. On here, it says notions, thread, and a hook and eye closure. Okay? That's all the notions it said I would need.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, great. I have those things. Then I get home. I open up the pattern, and I read the pattern, and it says I need interfacing for the collar.
Yeah, that's not counted.
Am I just supposed to know that?
It should be on the fabric thing. Look, there's another area where it tells you how much fabric you need, and it'll tell you like 6 yards fashion fabric, 2 yards interfacing or something like that. Let me see if I can see if I can find a pattern if yours doesn't show it or isn't clear.
Mine doesn't say that you need interfacing. It has body measurements, then 45 width fabric required, 54 inches wide fabric required, finished measurements. So I was just a little bit like,
yeah, that's
for something that says advanced beginner on it. Like,
yeah.
You need to assume I don't know what I'm doing and put like what I need. I don't know. That's another reason I didn't start right away, because I have more supplies to buy. I need to go buy interfacing because I don't have any right now.
Make sure you get the right kind.
Yeah, and it's been a long time since I've used interfacing. So what kind do I need? Fusible interfacing?
I wouldn't. I'd do sew-in.
No, sew-in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because your fabric's a woven fabric, right? Not knit.
Yes. It is woven.
I would use just a thin sew-in interfacing. It just gives a little body and keeps your nips from poking through.
Well, it's not even over that part. It's around the collar and around the so it's around this edge line and then also here.
Okay. Yeah, that's just for stability so that when the garment's pulling down, it has something, supporting it instead of pulling your fabric apart.
Yes. And I figured I want to try and do it right. I was like, I could do it without it, but then I would have a dress. Like, this is a good learning opportunity. Let's learn about interfacing,
Yeah. You could probably use fusible interfacing. I just tend to prefer sew-in when you can do it, because if you don't pre-wash your interfacing, you can get little bubbles like in your fabric. It's basically like you have to pre-wash and somehow manage to iron your fusible interfacing so that it doesn't get bubbles without actually fusing it to something, like how are you supposed, I don't know. One of the blogs I used to follow was Male Pattern Boldness, and he makes a lot of like men's shirts and stuff, and he showed one shirt he made where he didn't pre-wash the interfacing because he never had any trouble with it before, and when he ironed it down, it created little air bubbles like between the woven fabric and the interfacing where he'd ironed it on, and because it's iron on, you can't really take it off.
Fix that.
So all that fabric was just wasted.
Aww.
So it just looks horrible,
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, pre-wash your interfacing. You can also get away, some people like steam it really heavily instead of washing it. Make sure the glue side is up, so you're not gluing it onto your onto your ironing board. But you could also just set it to steam really heavily, and then that sort of helps, relax the fabric enough before you iron it on. But
that's a good idea.
Yeah. So try one of those, and Godspeed.
Thank you. Well, and these pieces that the interfacing is on are small enough that if one developed that bubbling problem, I could cut another piece of fabric out.
Okay.
Because they're like the collar, they're like little pieces of collar for the inside of the dress.
So is it 3 pieces of fabric then? Like fashion fabric with your interfacing and then your regular outer dress shell? You know what I'm talking about?
But those pieces, so this is the collar piece, and then this is the interfacing, and then this is the fashion fabric. Yes, essentially. Because, yeah, you do sew it this way, but then you fold it over that way.
Okay, yeah. So it's 3 layers of fabric, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I think.
Then it's, yeah. Then it's most likely okay, because then it's just a small piece, and if that doesn't looks like crap, then you can take it out.
Yeah, and it's on the inside, so if it looks like not very good,
then it's really just there for stability and drape.
Right.
Yeah.
So
then
okay. I'm super excited about it.
Yay!
And remember from like 3 or 4 podcasts ago when I bought thread? She's like, do you need to buy thread? And I'm like, no, I already have it because I bought black thread. So I'm ready.
Good job. Too funny.
So.
Yeah, so keep us updated.
I will. Hopefully I will have some dress things next week. But if not, oh well. We'll see. Yeah. I really am also amused because it is 5:05. My cat is sitting right at my feet and meowing, which I am sure is audible on the podcast. And I think it's adorable. So, yeah, he's so cute. He's so cute.
He's so whiny.
And if I look at him, he'll meow. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not looking at me. He's not going to perform for the camera.
Yeah.
There we go.
You looked.
Now he's not going to stop meowing.
Yeah.
So that is it for my crafting.
Okay.
For this
you said you had a podcast?
I do. This is a podcast I have been watching for a couple of months. No, more than that, since like January. She is a crafter. She's a knitter, mostly. She also sews. She does occasional cross stitch. Her YouTube channel, it's called Inside Number 23. And her name's Katie. And she is such a sweetheart. She is just a genuine person. She shares a lot of genuine things from her heart. And she's inspiring because of how creative she is. She and how much she knits. What kinds of... I think she also knits things that... she has a similar aesthetic to things I like. Like, she made the Wickerwork pullover by Michelle Wong. I love Michelle Wong. I also want to make that pullover. Like,
cool.
She has also been instrumental in introducing me to a lot of independent dyers. She likes to knit with independently dyed yarn. Right now, her birthday is September 30th, and so currently she's doing a 30 before 30 videos. So she's trying to, and she has so far been releasing a video every day of the week, every day in September, on just various things in her life, things that she doesn't usually talk about on the podcast. But some of them are really inspiring. Some of them like make me cry because they're so heartfelt. She used to be in musical theater, and so she talks about why she talks about that part of her life, why she doesn't do it anymore, but what she got out of it. She does a singing video where she sings for everyone because people were asking her about that, and so it's just been really fun to kind of get to know her a little bit better through her channel, through this 30 before 30 series that she's doing. And her regular weekly podcasts I enjoy as well. So,
cool.
Yeah. Her husband also appears on the show once in a while. They'll do like a movie segment at the end, and they'll review like the movies they've been seeing. She has a dog, a pug that she adores, and so sometimes the dog is on the show. So that's very cute.
That sounds really cute.
Yeah. So that's my podcast for this week.
Cool.
And I have also I checked out that podcast that you talked about last time, the mustards.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that audio podcast. So cute. You're right. They're super cute. And
Yeah.
And they have a YouTube channel together, and she also has her own YouTube channel. So I've watched some of their videos, and those are all great. And she's so great. She's like, I think the first video I watched was like, why don't I have eyebrows? And she's like, I shaved them off because I don't want them. Like, end of discussion. You know,
right.
She's just like, so.
Yeah.
This is who I am. Like.
Yeah. Well, she's super nice about it too, but very, firm but nice. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, she's very sweet, and she just doesn't care what you think.
Yeah.
She's like, I like it, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Luna Lovegood, doing her own thing.
Yes. Yes.
Pretty much. So I think that's it for this week, unless you have anything else.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Sorry for the helicopter going by again.
Yeah. But if you liked our episode, if you can hit the like button, and obviously if you want to hear more about us, you can subscribe. That would be great. And thanks for stopping by and spending a little crafty time with us.
Yeah. And science.
And science time.
Yeah. Just in time for Halloween.
Just in time for Halloween. Nice.
Bye.
Bye.